Mga pangyayari sa politika, kalagayan sa ekonomiya, mga kaganapan sa entertainment at iba pang mga balitang pambansa. Pinas Update, maging updated sa balita upang maging makabuluhang mamamayan ng ating bansa.
Pirmado na ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ang higit 5.7 trillion pesos na national budget para sa 2024. Pero aminado siyang kulang pa ito para tugunan ang sandamakmak na problema ng bayan.
Matapos ang ilang buwang pagbusisi at diskusyon, pinirmahan na kanina ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos ang General Appropriations Act para sa 5.768 trillion pesos na national budget sa 2024. Nilagdaan ng Pangulo ang dokumento sa harap ng iba't ibang opisyal, pero wala roon si Vice President Sara Duterte. Noong nakaraang taon, nasa tabi pa mismo ni Pangulong Marcos si VP Sara sa kanyang paglagda ng budget. Hindi pa naman malinaw kung bakit wala ang bises sa event. Sa talumpati ni PBBM, sinabi niyang ang paglagdang ito ay parang kontrata ng pamahalaan sa publiko.
We are signing the renewal of our annual social contract with taxpayers, that what they have paid faithfully will be rebated to them in full.
Dagdag pa ng Pangulo, ang budget ay nagsisilbing battle plan ng pamahalaan para tugunan ang iba't ibang issue ng bansa gaya ng kahirapan. Ang budget para sa susunod na taon ay 9.5% na mas mataas kumpara ngayong 2023 na higit 5.268 trillion pesos. Kasama sa may mga pinakamataas na pondo ang DepEd para sa dagdag na classroom at training ng mga guro, Department of Social Welfare and Development, National Defense, Department of Agriculture, Department of Public Works and Highways para sa infrastruktura. Sabi naman ni PBBM, hindi talaga sasapat ang budget sa susunod na taon para sa lahat ng infrastructure projects at pangangailangan ng bansa. Sa kabila nito, iniiwasan nating mangutang.
That is not the kind of inheritance that we want to leave those who will come after us. Good fiscal stewardship imposes upon us the discipline not to be led into the temptation of bloating what we owe.
Matapos naman ang paglagda ng national budget, sinabi naman ni Senate President Mig Zubiri na naglaan ng dagdag na 10 bilyong piso para sa security cluster gaya ng Philippine Navy, Army at Air Force. Kasunod yan ang mga tinanggal na confidential funds sa civilian agencies gaya ng DepEd at Office of the Vice President.
To be able to help us protect the West Philippine Sea and the rest of the country. So we're very happy with this budget. Talagang sa Tigo, this is one of the most responsive budgets and progressive budgets of our country.
Sir, on the 2024 national budget, which has been ratified by the House of Representatives and the Senate, sir, what do you think about it? Any comments on the deletion of the confidential funds, which will affect both OVP and DepEd, both headed by VP Sara, sir?
Well, that was actually the initiative of the Vice President. I'm not talking about the confidential funds and to not insist that they have such a confidential fund. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, it is a settled issue. The budget, I think, is very closely follows what our original NEP was. So, although what we have to do now is that there is still a gap, a differential between the appropriated funds and the funds that we have collected thus far. So there's a certain amount that we now have extra that we now have to collect. But I'm confident in that because we're changing the system in customs. We're changing, well, the BIR has been very efficient at making the collections, but we are still providing new initiatives to make business easier and also to increase our collection. In fact, during the signing of the LOI, nandun si Commissioner Jun Dumagi. And while they were signing the LOI, sabi niya, kinakalkula ko na yung koleksyon ko. So, sabi ko, maaabot pa ba yung kulang natin? Sabi niya, siguro naman. So, I'm fairly comfortable with the way the budget has turned out. We just have to do a little work over the year to make sure that we cover the differential between the actual the appropriated funds and the unappropriated funds. that have been appropriated by Congress, by the House and the Senate.
Compound question na po, sir. Will you be signing it on Wednesday, and how will the 2024 national budget be responsive to the WPS challenges po? How will it be responsive to the West Philippine Sea challenges?
Well, again, it's difficult for me to talk about operational capabilities and things like that. But we will improve that. We will improve our operational capabilities in every way that we can. But that's not the only side to that story. Even if we go up to the desired level of spending on defense, up to 2% of GDP, we will still be very not comparative in terms of actual military force to the Chinese. I think that's obvious to everyone. So that's not the only side to the problem. We have to, again, as I mentioned before, continue to ally ourselves with as many countries around the world, especially in Asia, but in the Pacific area, but around the world. And the key to being able to speak with a unified voice is essential, and that will only come with strong coalitions between different countries, amongst different countries.
Masasign po sa Wednesday. Masasign na po ang budget sa Wednesday, sir.
Yes, I think we're scheduled for Wednesday. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Today we sign the national budget, the instrument which tells how the taxes paid by the people will be returned to them. In effect, we are signing the renewal of our annual social contract with taxpayers, that what they have paid faithfully will be rebated to them in full. Although it is teeming with numbers, this budget is more than a spreadsheet of amounts or a ledger of projects. Rather, it details our battle plan in fighting poverty and combating illiteracy, in producing food and ending hunger, in protecting our homes and securing our border, treating the sick, keeping our people healthy, creating jobs, and funding livelihoods. It is wrong to say that the budget merely pays for the overhead of the bureaucracy. It is more than that. It funds the elimination of problems that we as a nation must overcome. It is incorrect to say that the budget merely finances the operations of government, because its fine print bankrolls the realization of our dreams writ large. In the end, every line in this budget, when translated to projects, from roads to schools to hospitals, will transform our country for the better and the lives of our people for the better. In this budget, we have included what we consider to be the means that will boost both the physical and human capital of a nation, blessed with talent, waiting to be tapped, with resources ready to be harnessed. But I would be the first to dispel any claim that this budget fully funds all our plans for our country and our people. How I wish that we could wipe out with one budget cycle all our infrastructure backlogs. How I wish that we had only revenues to realize our country's unlimited potential. Suddenly, the will is there, the wherewithal, perhaps not always so. Like any government, we are curtailed by what we can collect, by what our tax coffers contain. We can be reckless, take the easy path, borrow, let our children pick today's tab up tomorrow. But debt is not the kind of inheritance that we want to leave those who will come after us. Good fiscal stewardship imposes upon us the discipline not to be led into the temptation of bloating what we owe. Good government dictates upon us the duty to spend the appropriations we have cobbled together for the correct purposes, the right way, on time, and on budget.
I say this to remind those who will execute this budget that red tape that leads to underspending and overspending that disregards legal guardrails are two sides of the same coin. Implementation delay and illegal deviations inflict the same havoc of denying the people of the progress and development that they deserve. So with this reminder comes the most important budget commandment that we must always heed. We are working for the people, not for ourselves. We are working for the country, not for ourselves. Honor the taxpayers who make the budget possible. And in doing so, we will bring closer to the brighter tomorrow that we aspire for bagong Pilipinas that we all envision for our people. Let us all work in solidarity for a more empowered Philippines. I congratulate you all for the very hard work that I know you have put in to put this budget together. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Maraming salamat po. Maligayang Pasko at manigong bagong taon.
Pinas Update. Maging updated sa balita upang maging makabuluhang mamamayan ng ating bansa.